The latest drama in Hollywood involves a classic fairy tale being caught in a whirlwind of controversy, all due to a modern makeover that has people fiercely divided. It all kicked off when Brett Cooper, the conservative personality from the Daily Wire, was announced as the new Snow White, replacing Rachel Zegler. Instead of a seamless transition, this change has ignited passionate debates across social media, with fans clashing over what Snow White should represent in today's world. To understand the uproar, we need to rewind to when Rachel Zegler was first cast as Snow White. Zegler, known for her breakout role in West Side Story, had big ideas for the beloved Disney character. She made it clear she wanted to transform Snow White into a modern, independent leader rather than a princess waiting for Prince Charming to rescue her. In her vision, gone were the days of pining for true love. This Snow White had dreams far beyond romance. In interviews, Zegler didn't shy away from sharing her thoughts. "It's no longer 1937, she famously declared, arguing that with changing times come changing stories. She emphasized that Snow White's journey would focus on leadership and personal ambition, not on finding a prince. But not everyone was thrilled by this modern reimagining. Fans of the original tale voiced their disappointment, feeling that the classic story's essence was being erased. Many cherished Snow White for its romantic, magical elements, and for them, removing the prince felt like a betrayal of everything the story once symbolized. After all, fairy tales have long been about love and heroism, and fans couldn't help but wonder why a winning formula was being tinkered with. The casting of Zegler, a Latina actress, also drew mixed reactions. While some praised Disney's commitment to diversity, others felt it strayed too far from the character's original description of skin as white as snow. The controversy only deepened when Disney announced they were revamping the Seven Dwarfs, replacing them with a diverse group of magical creatures. This change sparked outrage, with critics labeling Disney as too woke and accusing them of altering the story's core for the sake of political correctness. Media outlets like Fox News hosted fiery debates, and fans felt increasingly alienated when leaked set photos revealed a version of Snow White that was barely recognizable. Disney's attempt to dismiss the photos as fake only worsened the backlash when they turned out to be real. The whole situation felt, to critics, like a desperate attempt to modernize a timeless story at the cost of its original magic. Peter Dinklage, the Emmy-winning actor known for his role in Game of Thrones, added fuel to the fire. Dinklage criticized Disney for their hypocrisy, pointing out that they couldn't claim to be progressive while still perpetuating harmful stereotypes. In response to his comments, Disney scrapped the traditional dwarfs altogether. Yet this decision backfired as well, angering the Little People community. Dylan Posel, better known as Hornswoggle from WWE, spoke out about the missed opportunity for representation. He argued that roles like the dwarfs in Snow White were rare and meaningful, and Disney's decision to cut them only hurt the very people they claimed to be protecting. As the controversy swirled, Brett Cooper entered the scene and turned up the heat. Cooper, a conservative actress and YouTube personality affiliated with the Daily Wire, took over the role of Snow White in an alternate version of the film. This new adaptation promised to stay true to the original fairy tale, focusing on romance, magic, and the themes that made the story a classic. Cooper wasted no time voicing her opinions, directly criticizing Rachel Zegler's modern interpretation. She took issue with Zegler's comments about the prince being a creepy stalker, defending the prince as a crucial part of Snow White's journey and not some problematic figure to be erased. The Daily Wire is known for wading into cultural battles, and their decision to produce their own version of Snow White is no exception. Their adaptation, titled Snow White and the Evil Queen, aims to capture the nostalgia and heart of the original story, appealing to audiences tired of Hollywood's trend of politically charged remakes. The announcement generated excitement among traditionalists who feel that classic tales are being lost in the name of modernity. Brett Cooper's casting was met with open arms by fans who appreciate her dedication to preserving the story's timeless values. Meanwhile, Disney isn't taking this lying down. They recently announced that their Snow White remake would be delayed from 2024 to 2025, fueling speculation about what's happening behind the scenes. Is Disney feeling the heat from the backlash? Or are they reworking elements of the film to avoid a box office disaster? The fan reaction has been intense, with people picking sides as if it were the Super Bowl of fairy tales. Supporters of Disney argue that stories must evolve to stay relevant, while traditionalists believe the magic and simplicity of the original tale should remain untouched. Rachel Zegler's comments have continued to fuel the fire. Her criticism of the original film's romantic storyline and her portrayal of the prince as a stalker felt, to many, like an unnecessary attack on a cherished classic. Fans argue that fairy tales are meant to be escapist and whimsical, not reinterpreted as modern-day political statements. For these fans, the original message, that love conquers all and dreams can come true, is precisely what makes the story magical. Turning the prince into a villain seems, to them, like a cynical move that undermines the fairy tale's heart. Enter Brett Cooper, who has emerged as a hero for those who love the traditional narrative. Her version of Snow White is celebrated for staying faithful to the original, with Cooper championing the story's themes of love, kindness, and romance. The Daily Wire's adaptation has sparked anticipation, with many eager to see how it will stack up against Disney's version. The stakes are high, and some are predicting a cultural clash at the box office, with both sides vying for the public's approval. At the core of this debate is a question that has divided audiences. Should classic fairy tales be updated to reflect contemporary values, or should they be preserved in their original form? Disney and the Daily Wire are taking drastically different approaches, and the public will ultimately decide which vision resonates more. As we get closer to the release dates, the discourse around Snow White will only intensify, setting the stage for a showdown between modern reinterpretations and traditional storytelling. So, where do you stand in this cultural battle? Are you on Team Modern, supporting Disney's vision of a progressive Snow White, or Team Classic, siding with the Daily Wire's nostalgic adaptation? Do you think updating these stories is necessary for today's world, or should we keep the fairy tale magic untouched? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Woke Informant. We'll keep you posted on all the latest developments, so stay tuned for more updates, and see you in the next video.